In this installment, we are back to the weekday grind, an 8-game slate for you guys for Monday on DraftKings and Fanduel. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Monday night slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. We're going to really deep dive into each and every position, starting off with the point guard all the way to the center, giving you value play and the lock of the night. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Also, if you are a viewer and not currently a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. We should be at 765. The goal is 1K. 1K will be the cash giveaway. All right. Now, let's get straight into it. I do not want to waste you guys' time. I understand my hair is crazy, but that will get fixed. Haircut is coming. No. A shave up is coming. Eventually, I'm trying to grow out my hair, get some twists. All that's gonna be looking good. All right, but for now, we're gonna deal with this. We're on the grind, and we're going with Monday slate. Starting off with the point guard position. The first guy I'm going off with will be Tyler HERRO, and I've been riding him the last couple days because of Kyle Lowry. Since he's been out, we have been riding this train each and every game since 6,500 salary, okay? So since then, 48 bomb, 46 bomb, and then a 33 bomb at 7K. Not great, but definitely paid off for his current salary. Now we're going to be in a game going on against the Houston Rockets where it is 100% to his benefit. This is literally the worst defense. And if they play competitive like they have been in the past couple of games, then definitely we can see a competitive back and forth, higher scoring game here between Miami and the Houston Rockets, allowing Tyler HERRO to be on that floor and put up tons and tons of numbers. And shockingly, if we're just looking at what Miami has done, if the Rockets have done, they just beat the Memphis Grizzlies 123 to 112. So, you cannot count them out. They've been playing better and better ever since they got some of the guys back healthy. So you just can't just pencil in a blowout because they literally just beat the top 3 team in the West. So now we have a scenario here going against a top team in the East. Can they stay relevant enough for these guys to put up major fantasy points? And I say yes. I love Tyler HERRO at 7,200. Let's move over to the shooting guard position, and we got one of the top tier rookies of the league right now, and that's going to be CADE Cunningham for the Detroit Pistons. And all these bottom feeder teams have been playing better and better. So you got Houston Rockets getting healthy and playing tough, and now you have the Detroit Pistons. They got a little bit of a three-head monster between CADE, Sadiq Bey, and Jeremy Grant. I'm going to go with their leader in this game against the Atlanta Hawks, who are more up-tempo pace. This plays in the hand of CADE Cunningham with the points, his scoring ability, his facilitating ability as well. And he is not shy of working down low and getting rebounds. As you can see, some of these games, there's a 53 bomb against Toronto, a 39-37 against Boston and Washington. So definitely we can see him in an up-tempo pace against Atlanta, and at this price at 7,500. What he brings to the table, he should be around that 8K range, all right? Now, next player we're going to go to, also at the shooting guard position, and you guys do not need to forget about this situation here, and that is all these injuries. Well, it's not even injuries. It's just a rest day for the Golden State Warriors. So I'm going to go to this just really quick just to show you guys. And we have no Steph Curry, no Klay Thompson, no Andrew Wiggins, and obviously no Draymond Green. He's been out. And no Gary Payton. That's another major out that I did not notice, but we seen it. Plus, the guys that I'm going to give you are going to cover all those spots. So the first one I really want to point into, and then the rest we'll get into a little bit later, will be Jordan Poole, point guard, shooting guard for the Golden State Warriors. Now, with all those guys out, he becomes one of the leaders on the scoring end for this offense. As you can see, he was struggling a couple weeks ago, bounced back in the last two games, has back-to-back 20 plus real points in each of those games against Dallas and the Lakers, chipping in 5 assists against the Lakers, and then coming through with 2 steals, 2 assists, 1 block, and 3 rebounds against the Dallas Mavericks. This is his opportunity to shine, and it only raised him about $500 in salary. I love Jordan Poole at $5,300 with all the stars gone for the Golden State. So he should be a lock. Okay, Jordan Poole should be a lock. Let's move on to another teammate of his at the small forward position will be Otto Porter Jr. All right. So you got Jordan Poole putting the ball in the basket, and you also have Otto Porter, who's been playing very well, knocking down that 3 ball. Actually, he's been more of a mid-range guy if you want to be really 100% about that, because he's 0 for 2 in a lot of these games, 1 for 3 against Dallas. 2 for 5 was his best day against Utah, but in this game environment where he should get definitely over 10 shot attempts, we should see an increase of 3-point ball for Otto Porter, because that is his bread and butter. Definitely, he was able to come through with a double-double against the LA Lakers, 10-10 with 3 assists and 1 steal. They only raised him $800 in salary. I have no problem going to him. You can definitely build around a Golden State Warriors value core and then really go to some other higher positions at the other spots to fill out your lineup. But you should definitely key in on the Golden State Warriors core. We got Otto Porter Jr. as a small forward. The next position we're going to go to is power forward, and we are going to be looking at Julius Randle for the New York Knicks. Right now, they're on the front end of their back-to-back. Currently, if we're just looking at it right now, they are blowing out the LA Clippers, and this is good. This is good. We have a struggling Julius Randle for today. I'm banking on him for tomorrow. We're playing him tomorrow, all right? It doesn't matter what he does today. This is the leader of the New York Knicks, and at 9,500, he has a ton of upside, especially going up against the Sacramento Kings. Every time I see the Sacramento Kings, the Charlotte Hornets, give me the bigs on the opposite side, and they will go off, okay? So every time I see that prime matchup, I'm going to attack it. It makes it even better that he's struggling today, because tomorrow he should definitely bounce back. People might forget about him just because he sucked on the previous day, but this matchup against the Sacramento Kings is just too good to pass up. He's been playing better against Phoenix and against back-to-back games against Philadelphia. He had a big game against Brooklyn for 55 fantasy points. So you're seeing it turn around just a little bit for Julius Randle, and I like him as a power forward. All right, next, let's go over to our center position, and we are going to key in on Tyler HERRO's teammate, and that will be Bam Adebayo going up against the Houston Rockets. Okay, this is another team you should poke at when you see in opposing centers against this team. So Houston is another team that struggles down low. Obviously, they're giving up a ton of points. They don't play much defense, and this man Bam Adebayo has been getting more and more responsibility in this offense and defense. As you can see, a 36-11 against Brooklyn, a 36-3-4-7 against San Antonio. So if you just keep going down and you see the upside, a 50 bomb here, 40 bomb there, struggled against Philadelphia 76ers. It was a little more of a blowout, and obviously he was going up against Joel Embiid, got in a little bit of a foul trouble with 4 personal fouls, and obviously he had to deal with Joel Embiid on that offensive side of the ball, so he was not able to score at his usual high rate. So we're getting him at a little bit of a discount, $200 cheaper, with an easier matchup. He should definitely put up some big, solid numbers early and often against the Houston Rockets. So I love Bam Adebayo as that center position. Now, let's go over to FanDuel. I'm going to give you my value plays here and my lock here on FanDuel. The first person we're going to start off with will be Emmanuel Quickly for the New York Knicks, going up against the Sacramento Kings. This is another spot where we're looking at guards, someone that's going to be definitely a six-man for the Knicks offense. Right now, they're currently starting Alec Burks, but the minutes have been there since they are resting. Well, since Derrick Rose has been out and no Kemba Walker for the rest of the season. Emmanuel Quickly has been putting up solid numbers off the bench. 26 minutes against Phoenix. 26 minutes against the Sixers. He scored 21 points, 5 and 1 in that game. And against Phoenix, scored 13, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Added in a steal as well against the Phoenix Suns. So definitely looking at some upside on him. If we're choosing which site to play him on, I prefer him on DraftKings more than FanDuel. It's just $100 difference, but Quickly still has a ton of upside on both sides in an up tempo type of game. Next person we're going to look at, we're going to stick with the value of the Golden State Warriors, and that will be Damion Lee. All right, Damion Lee will be the point guard for the Golden State Warriors. So it should look like Damion Lee, Jordan Poole, and it should like Otto Porter at that small forward position. All right, Damion Lee at 4,100. He is a steal on DraftKings. So lock him in on DraftKings. He is only 3,400 on DraftKings in the game against Minnesota. Was able to come through with 15 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. Chipped in the steal as well. So you see the upside here if he gets starters minutes, and he could definitely produce. If he gets you a 30 bomb at under 4K, that is near a 10x. So Damion Lee is a lock for tomorrow on DraftKings. He's a little more expensive, $800 more on FanDuel, but I still like him at that price as well. Now, next guy we're going to look at, there's another person on Golden State who's been putting up big numbers, and that is their rookie, Jonathan Kuminga. Okay, this man can put up a lot of different peripherals. He's been scoring at a higher rate, something like 17 points against Portland. He was able to put up 34 fantasy points there, 17, 8, and 2. Against the Lakers, 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. He's very active defensively as well. That's one of his calling cards. So I like Kuminga at 4,600. If we're looking at him on DraftKings, that will be 4,500. So $100 cheaper on DraftKings. I like them on both sites. Let's move over to my last play that we're going to look at before I get to the lock of the night, and that will be John Collins back from injury, currently 6,000 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings he should be a little bit cheaper. No, he's actually a little more expensive. So I prefer him on FanDuel. He's $100 more expensive on DraftKings. He was coming off the bench in that first game back against Washington. So you just to get him acclimated, he's going to get starters minutes. He's going to start most likely against Detroit in this very solid matchup here against Detroit. You can see him in what he did in this previous matchup against the Pistons. 38 fantasy points, 22 real points, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 assists, 7 rebounds in only 23 minutes. Okay. If this game stays close, Detroit is home. It's not like that Atlanta's home and they're just going to just straight blow them out. But John Collins is a very solid matchup because he was around almost that 8K range. He stayed solidly at 7,500 and just a little bit above for majority of the season. Now you're getting him at 6,100 on DraftKings and 6,000 on FanDuel. Definitely take full advantage of that. And before the price balloons, all right? And that's where we get to the lock of the night, and the lock of the night will be Zach LaVine. This is a very similar scenario here. We're going to take full advantage of his price. When you're looking at DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic, they already been priced up, but you cannot forget about pretty much the number 1A option on this offense, and that has been Zach LaVine at 7,700. He's much cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings, but this kid has been putting up big 3-point numbers. Scoring ability is there. We were just letting him get back acclimated in the offense. He came through against Milwaukee with 50, fantasy points, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and chipped in with a steal as well. You got to ride this wave until he gets to where he belongs at his price, okay? And his salary used to be almost 9K if we want to be really realistic. So let's just look on DraftKings just really quick. Zach LaVine right here at 8,300 on DraftKings, 7,700 on Fanduel. So you're getting a big discount there. And if we're going in this past, he was at 9,300, 9,100, 9,500, 9,000. He was 10K at one point. That's how hot he was offensively, putting up big numbers. We cannot fade Zach LaVine at this cheap price. There is $2,000 in difference with with this discrepancy here. So Zach LaVine is going to be the lock of the night, going up against the Philadelphia 76ers in a highly competitive game. I want this score on my fantasy teams. Definitely, okay. So just like what we took advantage against Milwaukee, you get a similar situation against Philadelphia. I love Zach LaVine as the lock of the night. All right. Now let me know in that comment section down below if you have any other options that I did not bring up at the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, a value play, or even the lock of the night. Let me know in that comment section down below. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.